too. And thank you so much for staying with us and being a part of the great, amazing conversation we've had from the Morning Crossfire show, What's Happening Abuja, the Sunnyside show that just wrapped up with Somi. And this is where I report for duty. My name is Kimberly Wachiko. Call me Kim, the Oracle, the Digital Oracle, OTF, the fellow Chanya One, Madam Speaker, and I'll say yes to them more. Welcome to Hard Facts and welcome to the Roundtable, where we start off looking at some of the big stories driving conversation in Nigeria. I was just on the telephone with my guest a few minutes back. That's why we're starting behind time to just understand where he is. And quite a busy days. Talk somewhere in court. So I guess we'll be joining us via telephone. I would have Mr. Dipo Olayokun join us on the roundtable today. Mr. Dipo Olayokun is also a journalist. Mr. Dipo, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. How are you?
I am fine and well. I understand your day has been extremely busy and extremely tight, but we appreciate that you can join us via telephone also.
You can say that again.
Yes. So we'll quickly run through some of the stories with you, and then when we get to the telephone part, we'll take it up from there. We'll let the people make their contributions.
Thank you.
All right then. So starting off with this particular story, and it's one that a lot of people have had concerns about the judiciary for a long time. I know the height of the 2023 elections, opinions were sort of diverse. It depends on what side of the divide you stand, though, as to what they perceive the judiciary as, given the fact that you had one court, appeal court is saying, oh, this person due to inter-party issues, and the Supreme Court saying something else, even based on the same facts presented before them. So Nigerians were kind of like torn, and all kinds of allegations, spurious or factual, I'm not sure, came up. And then the conversation around how can we ensure that our judiciary is a lot more strengthened, a lot more as independent as we want it to be, knowing that it's an arm of government on its own and a powerful one at that. Well, some people have talked about the funding and a better remuneration for the judiciary. Perhaps the president listened good, because the House of Representatives on Wednesday passed a bill that was sent to it by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the upward review of salaries, allowances, and fringe benefit for judicial officers nationwide for the third reading. Now, based on the provisions of the bill, judges are to get over 800% pay rise, as the Chief Justice of Nigeria is to earn 64.6 million naira annual basic salary and allowances far higher than what's obtained currently. Other justices of the Supreme Court are to earn annual basic salaries and regular allowances of over 60 million naira annually. The development received the backing of various senior advocates of Nigeria, as they insist that remunerated judicial officers will be less susceptible to corruption. Now, the bill seeks to amend certain political, public, and judicial officers holders. Their salaries. I've given the breakdown. And aside from the Chief Justices, who is entitled to the pay rise, and Supreme Court judges, there are other also improvement in the salary of other judges. So I'm a little curious to find out from you, do you share the sentiment of some senior advocates of Nigeria that it will make them less susceptible to corruption? Is pay for the judges the main issue in the first instance in our judiciary?
Yeah. Thank you very much. The issue of corruption in the judiciary or anywhere for that matter is a matter of the person involved. I don't think the higher the pay, the less susceptible our judiciary officers and officers are to corruption. Because we have instances where our politicians that earn very fast salaries are still caught in the web of corruption. But having said that, I think our judiciary officers, they deserve better remuneration. And I think the president should be commended for doing it to look in the direction of this people. I get my point.
Yes.
So I think we need to commend the president for that. And it didn't come as a surprise to some of us. Because don't forget that.
Oh dear. worst nightmare when we're having this conversation via telephone. It's the fact that, technology can fail you, the call can drop, it can be erratic and not as smooth as you want it to be. But we'll try and re-establish connection with Mr. Dipo Olayokun. He's actually in court and following up on a case. So just couldn't make it, even though he really wanted to be here with us in the studio. But if you have any challenge whatsoever getting him, we will just continue the conversation without him. But let's give it another swing and see if it will be any better.
To call this number.
Oh dear. Okay, here we go with a bit of the drama. Okay, a little patience, please. Let's try and re-establish connection with our guest. Okay, one more time. All right, let's hope it happens. If it don't, it will be the two of us. So I would get your perspective on the stories we're looking at. And if you're just tuning in, we started off looking at what was sent to the House of Representatives asking for a review upward.
You're trying to reach is unavailable.
Oh dear. All right. I think there must be something more going on from his end. If he reaches us back, then we'll take it up from there. So our guest, just before the call drop, was talking about commending the president for the move that the judiciary, our judges actually need a better pay at the end of the day. And the senior advocates of Nigerians are saying, well, it will make them less susceptible. And the big question is it just about their pay that makes them, gives the impression or the perception on the side of Nigerians that we do have those who perceive, though, that the judiciary is corrupt, would narrow it down to just pay them better and it magically fixes everything. I know we employ this same strategy when we even talk about the police. We say, if the police earns better, all of the whole drama and corruption and anything for the boys will cut down. We just naturally just attribute everything to better pay. Now, does it contribute? I want to believe that if you earn better, at least you have your needs met, the basic essential, you can afford them, rent, supplies, food, shelter, and all whatnot, and maybe provide education for your children or your wards at the end of the day. However, like the guest pointed out, it just boils down to individual, because you have people who don't have two coins to rub together and they still hold their heads high with integrity, and they will not take what's not meant for them. They will not pilfer. Because it's innate, it's inbuilt to actually be that upstanding and have integrity. However, people need to be properly compensated. And if we're looking at the judiciary, which is an arm of the government, which is vested with a lot of responsibility of interpreting our laws, you want to be sure that there's no excuse and no room, no wiggle room whatsoever for any sort of manipulation based on. I mean, we've seen cases where state had to provide certain vehicles for, back in the day, judges. You had to provide certain things to just make them a bit more comfortable. And people say, if that continues, there's a tendency for you to pander towards who, provide certain things. And given the fact that we've seen some interesting outcomes, some interesting judgment over time, Nigerians' opinion is highly polarized when we talk about the judiciary. A lot of people would believe that there's some sort of corruption going on there, while others would disagree. I mean, we're talking about the judiciary, the last hope of the common man. So whatever it takes to put them, on the pedestal of, integrity, just taking everything that would perhaps reduce them, you go ahead and do it. So better pay coming for them, and hopefully condition of work a bit more favorable, where they would dispassionately carry out their duties. Now, seeing that I can't reach my guest, sorry about that, sincerely apologize, and I know he feels really bad because he really wanted to be here. I will open up the phone lines early. This is one story. If you're interested in touching on this particular one, let us know. Is the figure too high? You think it should be less, or you think it should be more, or you think other working conditions should be attached to make it a bit more favorable? I would love to get your 2 cents, all right? So call me up on 0700 951 0000. Or you can call 0809-5974-869. Our WhatsApp number is also open for you to call or send a message, 0809-9930-137. Oh dear. Okay. Hello? Oh dear. Okay. Good afternoon. Yes, I can barely hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you're welcome.
Yeah, King, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Roundtable.
Yeah, thank you. How's been your day?
So far so good. Productive.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, this is Udo, the next president.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I think for me it's a good idea and it's a good thing that they increase the payment of the judiciary. But the only place my concern is the rate at which the time it took the executive and the legislature to pass that bill. I'm not sure it's up to 1 month.
They haven't passed it. Is in the third reading already.
Okay. Yeah, you can see now the rate at which they are pushing it. But when it comes to the issue of civil servants, like you did mention the other time, police, it's always a problem. We have been complaining about our salary and the rest. How many months now? The government is feeling reluctant to do it. Or I don't know what to say. And I believe that it is even the civil servant that government should even hasten up to increase their salary. Because these are the category of people that are even doing the job.
What job exactly do you think they're doing that is above that or that of what the arm of government responsible for?
The civil servants are the engine of the nation.
Okay.
If the people, the lower cadre of the servant, drop their tools today, everything will collapse. So I believe they should put more attention on them, on us, than feeding themselves. That is just the little thing I want to say for now. It's a good idea, but they should also remember the civil servants that their take home is nothing to compare with the situation of the country now.
All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ojo. And we recall that this push for the review of the salaries of judges has been hanging for a very long time, even from the previous administration where they've been making that push. And a lot of people are wondering why, senior judges and all of that, even as high as the Supreme Court, will be earning a lot less than the senators, looking at the fact that it is an arm of government in a federal system that we operate on its own. So the MB had at some point proposed a 200% increase in basic salary, and President Tinubu apparently swinging into action to effecting this decent living wage for them. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
This is Benson AR. I'm calling from Abuja.
Benson AR, good to hear from you.
Yes, I've been following, but I think that our leaders are just joking with us. They know what to do. They know what to do to actually make the judiciary to be incorruptible. Increasing their salary is not going to solve the problem. One of the ways to make the judiciary or any other arm of the government, for that matter, to be up and doing and to be corruption-free is to actually bring to book the past leaders, those who are found to be corrupt, is to bring them to book. When you begin to bring people to book, they will begin to sit up. The ones that are watching will begin to sit up. It's not. Let me tell you the truth. Even if you increase their salary to 10 million naira today, you will still hear cases of corruption. Because there are politicians who have a lot of money, who can double and triple their salary, their monthly salary, in form of bribes and all of that. And this thing will continue. It is bringing them to book, making sure that if you are found to be corrupt, you are brought to book. We're not sweeping anything under the carpet. That's one of the ways to solve this problem. Increment in salary is never going to solve the problem. If they like, they should continue. But we'll still come back to this matter, even when their salaries are increased. And you will see that we are still getting cases of bribery and corruption and all of that. We are hearing cases of bribery and corruption concerning judiciary. So that's my own point. Bring them to book. For those who have our ombudsman, ESCC and ICPC and all this, they are not doing what we want them to do, actually.
All
Even
right.
our leaders. Yes, you wanted to say something.
No, I was waiting for you to wrap up, but just,
Okay, my
wrap
time
up.
is up. Eh?
Exactly.
All right, so that's my point. That's my point, actually. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you,
I remain
Benson.
my humble self, Benson AR from Abuja.
Thank you, Benson. Do call often. We'd love to hear your voice and your opinion. Now, I recall the recommendation that was made by the NBA for review of judicial salary and allowance. And when they made that recommendation, presented their memorandum to, the revenue mobilization, it's always that RMAFC. If you ask me a quiz question, I'll fail that one. They identified a basket of factors in determining appropriate judicial remuneration. They said they need to protect judicial independence, pay them better. There's that level of not depending on politicians and setting people in executive corridors or even maybe legislative, if it comes to that, who might want to influence them. They also said the current state of judicial remuneration is appalling. The responsibility, working condition, and workload of judges is something they need to look at, where you need to apparently promote more that needs to be promoted and make room for more to come in. And they call for recruitment into the judiciary. Retirement benefit of judges is also something they look at so that you know that end is covered. I mean, we talk about certain people who even earn in multiples in terms of the retirement benefit, those ones who have served as governors and then get to the red chamber and, afterwards, all kinds of benefits coming from all sides, even though some of them are saying, I have not received this in a bit. So they're talking about retirement benefit of judges to be just something decent and what they're while. Benefit allowance enjoyed by judges, oversee remuneration arrangement, and the NBA made the following recommendation on judicial salary and allowances for consideration. They talked about 200% in basic annual salary, allowances and fringe benefit, medical allowance, accommodation, leave allowance, at least 10% of the basic salary should be their leave allowance. Hardship allowance should be about 50% of their basic salary. That was what NBA recommended and or whatnot. So the president has come out to put his own. It's left for us to also interrogate how much percentage of it is reviewed upwards. But and if this is agreeable by others who put forward the recommendation and also by Nigerians who they see the absolute need for our judges to get better pay, better remuneration, better after-work benefit in terms of the retirement benefits, allowances, medicals, and the likes. Or do you think this is perhaps one reason why others will rear their heads and demand for better pay also? Well, the first caller, Ojo, had already said civil servant needs to earn better. And we all agree with him, don't we? Hello?
Olayokun, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm good. You're welcome.
Abubakar calling from Abuja.
Go ahead, sir.
It's a good move for judiciary officers to enjoy better packages. But would that make them vulnerable? Would that not make them vulnerable to corruption, intimidation, and blackmail, as we saw during the last administration? When the wee hour of night, the secret agents were violating houses of some judges in night. So it is about asserting their independence. Let them grab their power from the Constitution, where our judicial officers in their ruling can even override Mr. President constitutionally. If he errs, that is one of the benefits of our presidential system of government. They can decide if even Mr. President acted arbitrarily. So there are a lot of things. It's not just packages. Is this a systematic step towards 2027? I'm asking you the oracle. You can see the future.
We'll just leave it to the fact that the judges deserve better. Thank you very much, Abubakar. Appreciate. All right. And Asiraba says it's good to increase the salary of judges, but I ask, what about other government workers? The economic hardship is unbearable. They went on to say, with recent development, trusting Nigerian judges is just like the odds that he will be on the moon tonight. All right. Not much faith in them, apparently. And let's see here. Call me Wale Vibes. We see you. To Andrew says, Nigeria is mainly for people that have opportunity. That's what he thinks. Ishai Titus, I see you. And Nwodi, Casey Abraham. You love to see me talk on radio. Thank you very much. I'd love to see you contribute also. As for increasing salary of civil servants, it's good, though, but it cannot stop the corruption. You mean to talk about the judiciary? Let them increase the money for all workers at this point in time. Good afternoon, Nigeria Info. Dr. Ahmed from London says, wish to comment on the new salary of about 5.4 million per month for the CJN and 4.2 million per month for other judges of the Supreme Court. With all due respect to members of judiciary, I posit that this move is wrong step in the wrong direction. One of the aim of good governance is to narrow the gap between the rich and the poor. Members of National Assembly should first and foremost do something to alleviate the hardship on ordinary Nigerians who are suffering from subsidy removal. Rather than incline to please the elite at the Supreme Court, they should urgently increase salaries of teachers, junior civil servants, other ranks in security services, HCC, whose salary is not enough to take them to work every month. Again, I've been advocating for harmonization of salaries and wages instead of an outright increase of salary that will certainly attract another round of hyperinflation and give more money to the existing fat cat, people earning humongous amount of money already, thereby further widening the gap between the rich and the poor. Now, reports on harmonization of salary and wages are available in the presidency since 2016, and it should be dusted and implemented. If it's done, the minimum wage will be about 97,500, while maximum wage should be about 3.7 million naira per month. The current situation where some DGs of agencies are paid up to 11.5 million naira per month, while PAMSECs are earning less than 2 million naira per month, cannot be allowed to continue, please, he said. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed from London. Good to know that you can listen in and join us. Ehinome, I see you. Thank you very much. Ambik from Guag says, judiciary play a pivotal role in sustaining the political power that be. So, it's worthy of note that reviewing their salary via increment is compensatory so as to encourage them to stand by the administration's next election in 2027. All this has political undertone. Otherwise, what of security agents like civil defense, correctional officers, etc., that earn as low as 38,000 naira in the lower cadre? Private in the army that earn 50K in the lower cadre, and you expect them to put their lives on the line of duty, which they do every single day? Why not increase their salaries also and their allowances? All right. Even though I'm not so sure of the figure you reeled out. And I salute Mr. President for his bold step towards the judiciary. They deserve better wages, and it will also discourage some of them from corruption, but some of them will still be corrupt, says Oludade Abiodun. And Chasambat says, I don't think it is needful that the judges and judiciary be given such humongous pay rise. Corruption is of the mind. No amount of pay would dissuade a corrupt-minded judge from soiling his hands. And by the way, I chuckle at one of your callers saying civil servants are the engine room of the nation, and they're the ones that deserve pay rise the most. Is it? That's Charles talking now. You think it's unproductive, that sector. He's talking about being the engine room. No wonder our country is unproductive. The engine is dead. Oh, harsh, but his opinion. A corrupt judge is a corrupt judge, no matter the amount you pay them. People should learn to serve their country selflessly. Money, in this sense, is insatiable. I will not commend the president because a greater portion of our citizens are living in penury. I see this as political increment. Our judges are not among those suffering in the land today. The FG has not deemed it fit to compel some of the state governors to pay ordinary 30,000 to their workers, says OGB. Now, let's move on to another story quickly. And this time around, sharing news coming from the CBN. We know that Yemi Cardoso inherited quite a lot, too heavy for him to even cry out and talk about it, perhaps because, you're operating within the same political party, handing to each other. So you don't want to cry too much like was done during President Buhari's tenure where, he gave graphic picture for every point and every interview, he took the opportunity to tell Nigerians how the accounts and the reserves were empty and how depleted POS is and how bad the economy is thanks to the PDP and how they devastated the economy. We went into recession twice and came out of it, and it was all PDP's fault. However, this government has not been able to sing that much in terms of, crying, because, well, one party to within itself. However, there are quite a number of people who've been bold enough to say the last administration left the country high and dry. The last administration introduced questionable policies. The last administration allowed a lot of money to be approved without following due process, thereby impoverishing the country a bit more and, sinking us further in debt. But it looks like Cardoso, the CBN governor, is finding new ways to, getting us out of the hole. As it's reported that he's completed the clearance of valid foreign exchange backlog, which has been a problem even from the past administration. And we know that this backlog made a lot, particularly the aviation industry, where a lot of them were grounded, said they couldn't repatriate their forex back home. A lot of businesses had that complaint also. Well, he said for the legit one and the valid one that they've been able to establish, they have cleared the backlog. This significant achievement was shared by Mrs. Hakama Sidi Ali, the bank's acting director of corporate communication, highlighting a fulfilled promise by CBN Governor Mr. Olayemi Cardoso to tackle an inherited $7 billion in claim. Now, on Wednesday, Mrs. Ali revealed the CBN's finalization of payment amounting to $1.5 billion, thereby addressing the last portion of the forex backlog. This step not only reflects the bank's dedication to stabilizing the nation's economy, but also underscored a thorough verification process that was employed. Deloitte Consulting independent auditors were tasked with examining this transaction closely, ensuring the settlement of only legitimate claims and referring any questionable transaction to the relevant authorities, they said. Now, complementing the economic progress, the CBN reported a remarkable boost in Nigeria's external reserve, which increased from $993 million to $34.11 billion as of 7th March 2024, reaching an 8-month high. The rise was fueled by increased remittance payment from Nigerians in diaspora, heightened interest from foreign investors in local assets, including government debt security. Now, with this development, it looks like Nigeria is on the promising path towards renewed economic stability and perhaps confidence. Maybe it's the dawn of a bright future for the country's financial health at the end of the day. Looking good on paper, looking good. I hope it translates to that reality. And for those who are watching the dollar and naira in terms of the performance, they would also say that the naira has stabilized to a point where it is gaining some strength, some muscle, because as we speak, it's down to 1,400. Now, it's not as low as you wanted. However, it is not gaining like some people feared. At some point in time, there were a lot of speculation that it was going to go as high as 2,000. Some of us were already shaking in our boots and thinking, boy, if it exchanged for 2,000, aren't we in hot soup? Well, it didn't rise beyond the 1,900 peak it reached at some point in time. Then it stabilized, and then we are seeing a gradual improvement in the performance of the naira. So perhaps maybe all of the policies are coming to. Some of the policies have been, it feels like, a little high-handed, the clamp down on the BDCs. We've seen on Forex and cryptocurrency-run companies also. Binance, as we speak, is answering a lot of questions. Even the National Assembly is compelling them, even through the court, to declare the names of those who have assets, Forex assets in Binance, to just give some of those data out so that we'd interrogate if there were laundry or that shady deal going on behind the scene. So it feels like things are looking up. And how long would this hold for? Is this a turn? Are you positive and excited about it? You can share your 2 cents with me on this particular story also. The number is still the same, 0700 951 0000, or you can call 0809 9930137. That's also our WhatsApp number. Hello.
Hello, Kim.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Balakshanovich. from Maitama.
Good to hear from you.
Okay. Well, I was discussing this when I saw the $7 billion clearance FX market thing. I said, well, we should not be happy. Now, first of all, what causes a backlog? Case in point, the Minister of Interior, right, had a backlog, and he was able to clear it out almost the first week he assumed office, right?
Yeah.
Now, for a backlog to happen, is that in a transaction, is either services were rendered and money wasn't remitted, or money were paid and services were not rendered. That's what creates backlog. Now, if you follow that concept, let's relate it to this $7 billion that was. I came into this country as means of
diaspora remittances.
Yeah. Now, this money comes through the CBN because it will have come through the CBN to commercial banks. And before it gets to commercial banks, the CBN...
Oh, dear. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. So sorry. But you can call back and finish up your thought. Hello? Hello? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show, sir. What's your name?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
About the CBN.
What's your name?
This and that. Hello?
What's your name?
My name is Jerry.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, about the CBN. Let them stop speaking English for us. All this is what they are saying now and that. Go to Massacre Market. Whether all this English reflected to what is happening in the market. Go to a market. Make you know all this English. As of yesterday, I wanted to call yesterday about what this guy said about MFL. This CBN now, to me, is worse than MFL. How much interest rate in bank? The person go to collect loan. How much is the interest rate now? And how much interest rate before MFL? How much dollar now? How much dollar before MFL? This CBN, current CBN is worse than MFL to me. Thank you.
All right. Jerry's opinion. Hello. Oh, dear. Connection is not really the best. No, sir. Please call back. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm all right. What's your name, sir?
My name is Comrade Carlos on the line.
Go ahead, sir.
I don't want to put mark for the CBN something. I want to put mark for the judges' salary.
Go ahead.
Increment. Please, I'm very happy when the government can increase the judges' salary, even police. You know, these are government officials. They are not earning good salary. Go to some country, you see the good salary. When they have a good salary, after they can give them good salary, let them have a body to monitor them. The way they are give judges, the way they are corrupt, let them monitor them. When the individual can report to that kind body, they need to investigate them and strike them after they increase the salary and give them everything. You see they will sit up and do the needful. That is my take. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you very much. Hello. Good afternoon. Yes, you're welcome. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Lukman. I'm calling from Dipo in Zaman.
Welcome, Lukman. Can you please help turn down your radio, the volume?
Okay. I want to react to the CBN. It is important for us to always desist from praising government when they have not done about, they have not deserved to be praised. They raised I don't know, maybe the thing fall from in their hand from 750 to almost 2,000, and is now at 1.4. We do not give them any kudos so that they will not go and sleep and say, oh, we have tried, at least we brought it down. We want them to at least, if they cannot take it below what at the benchmark they met it, they should take it back there. That's what. Just like that who was referencing market, that the English does not all those things, all the policy of the CBN, I don't think is reflecting on the prices of goods and services. Until we start seeing that, that is when we can begin to praise them. But for now, they are not doing anything. We know the people there before, they created a lot of problems for them. There's no doubt about that. Because initially, he really mismanaged the affairs of the CBN. So, but they should return back to where they met. And the judges, it is good to pay judges well, but I do not think that Umungos amount will still check the practices in the justice system, because justice is very important to development. When there is justice in the system, then you can have confidence that even if you take the president to court, you will be assured that you get justice, even if you don't have money. But I do not think the regulating body, which is NJC, should, be up and doing more in sanctioning judges. Is it only the judges at the apex court that is affecting? What about the magistrates?
All right. Now someone has identified that. We'll look at perhaps if there are other aspects to it. But for now, yes, it's the judges at the Supreme Court we're looking at.
I do not think is right, because cases have been taken to all these lower courts far more than the Supreme Court. Maybe they are looking at it from the political, probably when they take election matter there. And I don't think it will solve the problem, because corruption is at the magistrates, even at the High Court, State High Court, and Federal High Court. They should look into those ones. Then that is when we know that they have done something. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Ekwa Pikin says the increment will not change the current situation in the country. Instead of the government to focus on the happenings in the country, the hardship, they're busy talking about increasing salary. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have any hope in the judiciary. Judges that would base on what they will. Okay. In summary, very little faith. Nafi Love says, government is for the people, by the people, and for the people. Democracy, you mean. But we, the Nigerians, are not seeing all that. Not it's for the president, for the government. The only thing I do care now is for food storage to come back as it was, or food stuff to come back as it was before. I'm watching you live in Abuja. Do have a wonderful day. Nafi, good to know that you're watching. And good to know that Mr. Emmanuel Ogbeche is watching us far from the federal capital here. I still call him the chairman, former NUJ chairman of City Council. Good to know you're watching. All right, let's see here. More comments, and then I'll go back to the phone line. Kim, is it the same judges that give ruling in favor of people that didn't buy form in Yobe and Akwa Ibom? Is it the judges that Bukachawa said would help his colleague win election cases? Mike in Kagini is asking me questions I cannot respond to at this point in time. I see the mayor of Chinagola trying to call us. Let's see if he's still online. Hello? Hello? Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, Kim.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Ojo, the next person calling back.
All right, Ojo, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. It's like your news today is a kind of a sharing news, and we pray that it will continue and the situation will be getting better.
We hope so. But Ojo, use just 30 seconds since you've called before.
Yes, I will. Now, what I want to say is that now that more money is coming to the pocket of the government, they should please remember the masses to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal. And the good news I cannot wait to hear is the refinery to start work by April, as said by the DG of NNPP. We cannot wait to see a refinery producing well for us.
All right. Thank you very much. We all can wait and see how much impact it's going to make in our lifestyle generally. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon, my dear sister.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Roundtable.
Yeah, thank you. This is Isabel on the line.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm going straight to the judge's salary that's about to be increased. Well, I may not be against it, but from the judgment so far,
Hello?
They have not been good example. Because somebody will do something, you say, yes, it's a thumb up for this person. We are hearing so many. What I want to ask now, they are the one that even made number 4 to be number 1. Is also those people will be among the beneficiaries. That their judgment even may enter into the book of Guinness Book of Records, and other judges will know they are going to postpone matter. But the point is, even if they increase to 1 billion, the corruption in that sector will not go. What of the legislature that earn much, and we still hear of cases of corrupt practices. So that is what I see there. It cannot do anything. But I want government to do one thing. Instead of all this increment, they should fight inflation. Thank you.
All right, Nzeben, thank you very much. And George Daniel is also joining us on the roundtable. He left his thoughts there. George, good to know that you joined also, all the way from London. And he says the problem with Nigeria is the looting of the budget. Most of the budget will be looted and changed into foreign currencies and looted in foreign accounts. If the cycle continues, Nigeria would continue to suffer. All right, thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, Kimberly.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Zeben agreed to. And Bobakar Bola agreed to. Donato from Niger State.
Welcome.
And Kimberly, as of last year, we are not against of increasing the salary of judges anyway. Understand? It's a very good thing. But as of last year, they increased their salaries, increased the salaries of judiciary.
No, they were proposing, if we're talking about the Supreme Court judges, remember, sometime they were even talking about some protest of some sort. They were advocating for it and making all kinds of recommendations.
Okay. As they are doing so, let them look into the salary of the NASU and ASU. You understand? These people, I believe, when you talk about the nation building, I believe they are number 1. Please all those things in place. I think they should also increase their salary, pay their salary and minimum wage and the rest of them. So that they will cut off the strike and the rest of them. I believe so. As they are doing for the judges, let's also do also for the lecturers and the rest of them. That is my thing.
All right. Thank you very much, Donatus, for your take. And let's see. Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah. My name is Uchenna.
Uchenna, go ahead.
Yeah. Please, I want to comment on the CBN Governor Cardoso and the effort he's taking. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not seeing anything that man is doing. In fact, it's making the whole thing complicated. He's acting as if he doesn't know the work at all. Now, just people keep saying, what's this man name? NNPP has done this, has done that. I've not seen anything wrong that man has been doing. Tinubu and the co are using propaganda. The same thing they use to rule in Lagos. Yes, that's something I use to rule Nigeria. Nigeria is not legal that they can use propaganda to rule. So they have to come back and find someone that is good at the job and point him. Without caring where he or she is coming from. Instead of doing all this nepotism that happen in this government. As far as I'm concerned, there's so many nepotism in this government, this Tinubu government. And unless you do the right thing, you keep on going one step forward and 20 backward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. This is Ekosikin from Amman.
We're listening.
Yeah, on the CBN governor, you said you accept 7 billion or 7 billion. Hello?
So what?
I said, I want to go on the CBN governor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he did actually, the problem with the guys, we would like to sit down and fold our hands. And when things are getting bad, we can run up and down to find solution. When he came in, we know how much was dollar. and not until a dollar gets to 1,900 naira. Currently now it's 1,400 naira. Fine, but that's not what we want. That's what we want. This year ago, we'll never change anything from the market. We'll never change the price of anything in the market. And it was because of this dollars of a thing, that make things that cause the inflation of everything in the market. That's the reason why we are in Nigeria here using dollars. What for? What for? Before we get up in the morning and we heard that you can't use naira in Nigeria again. You are passing budget in National Assembly with dollars. Why? They will be mentioning dollars to us. Why? And as for judiciary, I don't have hope in them actually. It's not from today, ever since. Especially when it comes to any case of politics. I don't have hope in them. And they want to be giving them 1 million, over 1 point something million in every month. And with the kind corruption that is in judiciary, you want to still be giving these people 1 point something every blessed month. What are they doing to gain this money? What are they doing? As far as I'm concerned, they're not doing anything to gain this money. Like seriously, in a month,
all right.
All that. We have, because
in conclusion,
civil servants that are earning 50,000 naira, 30,000 naira in a month. And you want to go and give judiciary 1 point something? What for?
All right. Ekwa Pikin apparently does not like the idea. All right. And you did say we pass our budget in dollars. No, it's done in naira. However, you state the dollar equivalent, particularly when looking at barrels of oil, what it translates to in terms of the dollar equivalent. We actually do it in naira, but also, stipulate the dollar equivalent when it comes to the bigger picture of things. Nathaniel Pilau says, my humble regards to all of you. First time joining us. I hope you get to join again and again and again. We'll take a quick break for the news at the top of the hour. Bivan is already seated. We'll be back with more. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.